Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host, Dave, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Sarge.
Hey everybody, I'm not touching my penis right now.
Okay, and we're also joined by a special guest, my cousin, Devin. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm actually very hungover. And then I was pretty much beer pressured by these two clowns to go grab beer. So now I'm drinking again. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
I take no responsibility for this. This is not my fault.
All right, so it all lies solely on Devin then.
Yeah,
Thank
Devin, you're
That's
a
fine.
bad influence on your cousin. That's fucked up,
Oh.
bro.
I've been hearing that our whole life.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's nothing new to me.
All right.
I feel like
I can't
both of
be a
them-
bad influence on my cousin because she's 12.
That's the most like impressionable time to be a bad influence on someone. I feel.
No, I couldn't. She is too pure. She's like an extremely good student, very successful. And if I were a bad influence, my aunt would probably have me killed by some shady individuals. She's very well connected. So
True. You do live in the area where there are probably a lot of shady people that will do harm to you.
yeah, we're not far from Providence. We're not far from Providence.
Yeah. All right, Devin. Question for you, bud. Are you a cryptids guy? I don't think I really don't know that about you.
I dabble. So I don't think I've ever like fallen down a huge hole of like checking them out, but like I did go to in Portland, Maine. There's the Cryptid Museum.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Took a stroll through that once.
I feel like we need to go to that museum and film some content in it.
I don't know. The person who runs it, I've talked a lot of shit about on this podcast, so I don't know if I'm sure my picture's probably up like behind a register, like a do not allow on premises.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
We'll
Go in with disguises.
Yeah, I'll just put on a fake mustache over my real mustache.
Exactly.
So, hello, sir. I am here to observe the cryptids, please.
Ahoy, good sir.
No, it's run by the fucking Bridgewater Triangle guy. The fuck's his name? Lauren Coleman.
Oh yeah, I've already pissed him off too.
Yeah, Devin, we don't make a lot of friends on this show, apparently.
I mean, I did it in a completely separate podcast, but he did get very mad. We had made fun of him extensively because he is a knob, and he sent us an email requesting that we cite him. And I'm like, really? After everything we said about you, you want us to cite you? You got it, buddy. Make sure that everyone knows that you're the knob we're talking about.
I guess it's a good thing that I've already been to the museum now, because now just by association, I'm probably going to be added to the list.
Yeah, definitely.
Devin is now blackballed from all cryptid museums going for. All right, guys. Well, today, like I said, I think I got a pretty good episode. We kind of touched on this last episode with Matt. We talked about this cryptid in passing. Sarge, you seemed like you wanted to dive into it, so I decided, fuck it, we're just going to do it today. You probably don't remember what it is.
Oh no, I don't. So you made the right choice. I've had a long couple of days because it's Labor Day weekend and work has been exceptionally busy. So while I haven't been drunk, I've wanted to be.
Well, you're here now, so and it's, you know. All right, guys.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Today, we're going to be traveling to the great state of West Virginia. Specifically, the area just north of Fairmount. It's home to the world famous snack, the pepperoni roll. Are you guys familiar with the pepperoni roll?
Yes, I've had one actually.
I don't think I've heard about it, but I'm intrigued.
It's a big thing. So I didn't know this until I actually went to West Virginia. I had an odyssey with a friend of mine for a TV show that never happened. And we went down to Atlanta to host what could only be described as the saddest award show I've ever been to. It was in a high school gymnasium. Okay. No, auditorium, excuse me. Anyway, we stopped in West Virginia and these wonderful, like just the coolest people I had ever met, like had us come in their house. They had like a little fishing shop in their home and they had given us pepper rolls, pepperoni roll or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing thing I had ever eaten in my entire life. I got to tell you, if you ever get the chance to go to West Virginia, you have to try this. They're not
just
all kissing
cheese.
cousins down there. Some of them are just normal people with good food.
Isn't it just cheese and pepperoni? Like just cheese and pepperoni in a roll, right?
It's essentially a small calzone, but it's so good.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm just picturing a hot pocket. Basically,
yeah, I saw a picture of it. It's
Off
pretty
of the
much.
Guys, we're not doing it any justice. And to be honest with you, Hot Pocket stole their idea from West Virginia.
Okay. Well,
It's so good.
We're going to be heading to Fairmount, West Virginia, home of the world famous pepperoni roll, and also director and producer Robert Tunnell, whose credits include the Paula Abdul Straight Up music video and cult trauma film Surf Nazis Must Die. But as much as I love Paula Abdul and pizza rolls, like we are not here to talk about them today.
Troma's made some real classics.
We're going to be talking about the Vegetable Man, aka the Veggie Man of West Virginia. Are either of you guys familiar with this?
I'm so happy about this.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
Now I remember us talking about this. And I remember thinking to myself, if there is anything in the world I am completely unafraid of, it would be Veggie Man. Because all I can picture is just broccoli with legs.
Dude, just wait. It gets wild.
Say, I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, my first impression off that name is like the Jolly Green Giant that you just like buy the vegetable can.
Exactly.
I mean, you're kind of far off, but not really that far off. You know?
I'm sure the Veggie Man is like, he's like this weird scientific experiment. And every time you come upon him, he's just like, please kill me.
Yeah, or it's like some guy who just kidnaps kids and is like force feeding them vegetables. Be like, your mom said to eat the broccoli. Now it's time.
Just like the most fucked up serial killer.
He doesn't kill. He just makes you eat vegetables.
Well, it's like that one. It's like what was it in the movie Seven where he force feeds the guy all the pasta?
Oh
like
yeah.
That,
Not pasta. How dare you call it that? It was SpaghettiOs.
Was it spaghetti? Oh yeah, I don't know. Whatever. SpaghettiOs. All right. So the story goes that one late afternoon in July of 1968, West Virginia native and U.S. Air Force veteran Jennings Frederick was bow hunting for woodchuck in the backcountry just outside of Fairmount, West Virginia. And if I'm being honest, that is the most West Virginian sentence I think I've ever written on the show. And I've written a lot about West Virginia on this show.
It paints a picture.
About the kind of guy we're dealing with today.
Yeah.
But anyways, unable to bag anything, Jennings decided it was probably time to call it and head back out of the woods. As he was about to leave, he heard a strange sound that he described as, quote, high-pitched jabbering, much like that of a recording running at exaggerated speed. So like Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipettes kind of, I assume, chattering.
Or like my 15-year-old daughter after a little bit of coffee.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Jennings glanced over to see where the noise was coming from, and there, standing before him, is what some have described as one of the weirdest entities ever described in cryptozoology. I would describe it as one of the goofiest, but hey, differing opinions, right? Anyways, according to the book Alien Meetings by Brad Steiger, Jennings stated that, quote, suddenly there it was, a being with semi-human facial features, long ears, and yellow slanted eyes. Its arms were no bigger around than a quarter. Its body resembled the stalk of a plant in shape and color, for it was slender and green, end quote. That's such a proper way to describe a cryptid today.
Suddenly there it was,
slender and green.
Suddenly there it was is also how I start every letter I write to Penthouse. So
he also noticed that this Little Shop of Horrors knockoff had what appeared to be 3 very thin 7-inch long fingers with the tips ending in what I guess would be like needles or thorns. I don't know how you describe it. He said they were almost like syringe-like in shape, and like where the first knuckle on like a human hand would be was like a suction cup. So it like went down, suction cup, and then coming out of the suction cup was like a thorn thing. Does that make sense?
Oh.
I'm just picturing asparagus.
Yeah.
Like just some guy with asparagus on the ends of his fingers.
Yeah. It's pretty much, but and that like
so actually basically we're picturing Ace Ventura in the second movie when he like turns around from the buffet table and he's just covered in vegetables and everything. Yeah,
it's pretty much that. Now, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like I would immediately like piss myself if I saw this human-sized like stick bug like screaming like one of the Chipettes standing in front of me. But I feel like as soon as the fear subsided, I could probably take this thing. Like, I'm not like strong by any means, but I could easily fuck this thing up. I feel if like,
I mean, if I was armed with a bow, I would just immediately be thinking about like how much lemon and butter I would need to glaze it before I cooked it.
but also like you could just snap it in half like a fucking celery stalk because it literally is just a celery stalk.
Yeah, it's nothing. This is not an intimidating monster.
I don't know. Well, luckily for
broccoli.
Well, luckily
Fuck
for
you.
Jennings, this creature did not attack. In fact, it did the opposite. Obviously, Jennings is probably feeling a lot of feelings right now, as any of us would. But he managed to calm down and listen to the creature's cries and somehow was able to decipher what it was that it was trying to communicate. And I don't know how. I don't know if he like slowed it down in his head or if like the creature was like telepathically able to give him the ability to like understand it. It's unclear. It was never said how or why. But what it was saying to him was, quote, "You need not fear. I wish to communicate. I come as a friend. We know of you all. I come in peace. I wish medical assistance. I need your help," end quote.
Yeah, no, I got medical assistance right here. See this this pot over this flame? You should just hop in here. You'll feel better for sure. I promise. It's like a hot tub.
How are we feeling so far? We've like you got the description. It's clearly emaciated in need of help. Like
I still want to eat it.
okay,
I'm still hungry. I'm literally, and even though you've described it, what I'm literally picturing is sentient broccoli.
yeah. There's like artist depictions of this thing, and it's far more terrifying than that. But I guess
It's
if you're
like
not,
a salad monster. I just want to cook it.
yeah, Devin, how you feeling?
I mean, so yeah, like picturing it, yeah, it'd probably be pretty spooky to run into if you're not expecting it. But like,
Especially
now
if you're
with,
not
like,
expecting it. I feel
yeah, yeah, but like also at the same time, like, so he had enough time to like decipher what it was saying, and that wasn't a short like sentence
Right.
or phrase that he
Yeah.
translated. So like now I'm picturing them like just kind of like chilling, like he like saw him, he was afraid for a second, then they're like sitting on some logs, just like hanging out, like trying to like communicate to each other, a little bit of charades to like break
Yeah.
down the pieces.
So,
It's hard to be concerned about a creature that is their greatest foe is Hidden Valley Ranch. You know what I mean?
well, like I said, so the creature reached out to him again. I don't know if like it was telepathically how he was able to like decipher what this thing was saying, but anyway, so the creature needed help. So Jennings helped the creature the best he could, and they became best friends, and nothing bad happened after ever. The end.
That's a lie.
Just kidding. Before
Yes.
Jennings could even say
I'm
anything,
so glad. I said that not knowing. I was just hoping because
No.
if that was the end of it, I was going to be very mad at the salad monster.
Before Jennings could even say anything in response, this creature pulled a full on Benedict Arnold and betrayed him. The Veggie Man whipped one of its
Motherfucker.
long, spindly arms in his direction, wrapping it around him with incredible strength, leaving Jennings unable to move. And much like Chekhov's gun, those needle fingers with the suction tips I talked about earlier, they're now in play. It used its thorn-like appendages to penetrate Jennings' skin, sending in an excruciating pain up his arms. Looking into the creature's eyes, he noticed that streaks of red started to leach into its large yellow eyes. The colors began to swirl together, rotating in like a circular pattern, which caused Jennings to fall into almost like a hypnotic trance, kind of, because the shooting pain was almost immediately gone once like that shit started going down.
I did not expect this to go into full penetration.
Yeah, he's
so
still getting
I'm very
drained. he's getting drained right now.
The worst kind of getting drained, though.
Jennings claimed that even though he wasn't in pain, he could still feel the blood being drawn out of his body by this flowery phlebotomist.
This is why I don't donate blood.
Yeah, nah. We talked about this earlier. Remember we were talking about phlebotomists? You get that right vein, and you were talking about how you can kind of feel the blood coming out, even though you can't.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like this you would feel. How could you not? Because they weren't like needle size; they were like thorn size. It sounds like it sucks.
So, like just picturing this though, so it's like this like swirling hypnotic gaze in the eyes though, like is that like the blood that it's drawing out of him? Is it like absorbed up into the eyes and then like turns into an effect?
I have no idea, but it's weird that it did kind of happen simultaneously with the blood being drawn out. But I the way they talk about like it reminds me of, like the Hypnotoad eyes from Futurama.
Futurama.
That's like that was my
The
first thought.
Hypnotoad
Was
is
that.
easily my favorite character by Matt Groening for sure.
Oh, it's brilliant. Now he says that Jennings says that the process he claims only lasted a little less than 2 minutes. Then, as soon as the creature got like its fill, it released Jennings and then sprinted up over a steep embankment, leaving the hunter standing there, stunned, and now without the creature's hypnotic gaze, in like extreme pain. Like as soon as this thing looked away from him, like all that pain came shooting back. And along with the returning pain, Jennings felt a swell of panic come over him, and he got the hell out of there, as I'm sure any of us would. What you got, Devin?
Feels a little delayed.
Yeah.
I feel like that should have been the response before it was close enough to grab him in the to
Well,
begin
one
with.
of the things that Jennings left out of the story was the raging erection he had as well. He is a vegophile, so it did give him like a half chub. They took some of his blood, so it's just a half chub. But he's still going to go home and beat it like it owes him money.
I don't know how long the like the whole encounter lasted. Again, like I don't know if like he heard the chittering, looked up, saw it, and then the thing like immediately like fucking got the message across to him telepathically or something, and then because he didn't have a chance to respond to it before he fucking got wrapped up in like ivy or whatever the fuck, and then got drained. So, I mean, I'm sure the fear was there the entire time, but he was also being hypnotized by fucking Hypnotoad eyes. I have no idea. No. As he was racing away from the scene, he heard a low, deep humming sound coming from the direction that the creature ran off to. He assumed the sound must have been coming from the creature's ship, but he never actually saw a UFO, so like who the fuck knows?
So he immediately went to alien on this one. Like just in his mind was like, no, that had to be an alien. There's no way the broccoli monster just lives in the woods of West Virginia.
Yeah, he just immediately assumed. But it's West Virginia, man. Like there's shit fucking going all over that state. It's a nightmare.
No, I'm familiar. I did drive through it. It is a terrifying place. Those nice, lovely people that I met did not belay my fears, because as I was driving through West Virginia after I had met those folks, my car was attacked by what can only be described as baseballs of hail.
Oh.
Yeah, it was insane. I've never seen rain that bad in my life.
What does that have to do with monsters in West Virginia?
Maybe that's who was throwing the hail.
Well, West Virginia is just a terrible place. Like, don't go there is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, you're just saying in general that state
Yeah,
sucks.
in general,
Got
there's
it.
bad things. Like, if that hail is any indication of the kind of creatures they have, I don't want to go there ever again. You know? Like, as nice as those people were, I never want to go back if I have to deal with broccoli monsters and hail.
That's true. I mean, you also got Mothman, Grafton Monster, Flatwoods Monster, fucking...
It's not a safe place. There's a whole reason...
That's why Fallout
This is the whole
76
reason.
is
Yes,
placed there.
yes. Because if you're in West Virginia, you're not surprised when you see a death claw.
That's valid. No. Like we see with a lot of encounters like this, like these weird one-off either alien or cryptid sightings, Jennings decided, I'm just gonna keep this to myself because the amount of shit people are gonna talk about me if I tell this story just isn't worth it.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what he did. He kept it to himself. He told his friends and family that like the puncture wounds on his hand were caused by a briar patch, and then just like went about his life.
It'd be more believable if he was just like, I got some really bad meth and
started picking at his skin.
I tried to fight some kitchen knives. So,
but he ended up finding, again, like we see very often, like living with the secret for so long was starting to take its toll. So he decided to tell his story to author, famed paranormal and UFO researcher, and one of the best to ever do it, Gray Barker, who took his story and published it in his March 1976 newsletter, which brought this story to the world. And now I'm telling it here to you two fine, lovely gentlemen. Now it's important to note that while Gray Barker is well respected in the community of like paranormal and cryptid research, he was known to be a bit of a prankster. So,
okay,
like how true this story is, I have no idea. But even if it wasn't him that like broke the news, or I still would have no idea how true this story is, because this is the only encounter anyone has ever had with the Veggie Man, as far as I know. But
it is impossible to be afraid of the Veggie Man. Impossible.
But there you have it. That, guys, is the story of the Veggie Man. I'm going to start with you, Devin. How you feeling about this? Questions, concerns, comments. Let's open the floor up.
So you actually answered my one question right before this. So I was going to ask if there had been any other sightings or like anyone else to like at least back it up a little bit.
No, this is all just make believe. I am assuming. I don't know how true any of it is. And the so some people obviously like whole hog believe in this thing. Others are obviously a little bit more skeptical because it's a fucking Edward Scissorhands veggie monster.
Yeah.
And the reason why too is that Jennings guy, apparently it's not like the first weird encounter he's had with stuff, and like even his mom.
Name of my sex tape.
His mom, I guess, like
first weird encounter I've had with stuff.
Had his mom claimed she saw like a UFO over a house with like an alien like dangling from it. Like, I don't know.
Just an alien floating around in a UFO hanging brain over West Virginia. I get it.
Yeah, he was hanging out of the UFO like in a fucking what are those things called? Like a harness, just like fucking hanging there. I don't know. But it's I don't know.
He's ziplining from UFO to UFO.
Pretty much.
That's what it is.
But yeah, no, it's pretty good. Sarge, what about you? You got any questions, comments, concerns?
I'm not in any way surprised this came out of West Virginia. Based on my experiences there, this tracks completely. And I think the only thing I'm not surprised about is that there weren't more people with guns trying to hunt it.
True. I feel like if you had told people right away, then it would have gone down that road that we see time and time again of just like armed
villagers. Yeah, the villagers coming out of nowhere with guns.
Oh, because those are my favorite stories. Whenever like I saw a monster, then the whole town rallies together to just fucking murder it.
Yeah. Welcome to America. If you are a cryptid, you are not safe here.
Yeah. No, you will immediately try and get like, it's like fucking that gif of Danny DeVito's like, so I just started blasting. It's that over and over again.
Immediately.
Yeah, but this is giving me like Mantis Man vibes. The fucking like kind of like that. Are you familiar with the Mantis Man, Devin?
Not really. I think I recognize the name from. I've probably heard it in passing, but I don't know any specifics.
Well, apparently he can camouflage like the Predator, but also he has the most immaculate calf muscles you've ever seen on a cryptid. Just the way
it's a good feature to have.
The way this story was written for the Mantis Man, it's almost sounded like Sarge said earlier, like a letters to Penthouse. It's like it's his strong calves.
You know, the guy who was writing it was literally like he was like mopping his brow while doing it. Like there's a very well worn bottle of Jergens next to him, a pile of Kleenexes. He is just on it.
Yeah,
I say wiping his brow or something else. It was written one handed.
Yeah, either way, there's definitely a one hander right there. Oh shit! All right, well that's the story, guys. That's our episode.
God damn!
I appreciate you guys coming on. There's twists and turns. You kind of thought when I was researching,
there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, I thought he's just gonna ask for help and then we're gonna be friends. Nope, he's gonna fucking drain you of all your life essence. So it is what it is.
Suck the life out of you.
Yeah, see, from the way the story started, I thought it was like, it was just gonna be a story of like, hey, I ran into this weird thing, but then it just went away, and we were buds.
Yeah,
like, quiet. But then, no, you had to be an asshole about it.
Exactly. That's what makes me mad. Is that the thing was like, oh no, bro, I just need some help. Please help me. I'm gonna suck the juices out of you.
It almost would
also name my sex tape. I'm not the one sucking the juice, but anyway,
you got it. Yeah. I think it almost would have been better if the creature just didn't say anything at all. Like if it just attacked him, like and didn't give him that false hope of like, nah, man, it's cool, we're cool, and then fucking proceeded to.
Right. I'm not even scared of this creature. I just think it's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's pretty dick behavior.
Yeah.
On this guy's part.
Dick behavior is absolutely right.
Yeah. Shit. All right. Well. Thank you guys so much. Devin, I don't know if you want to plug anything. I don't know if you have something you want to plug.
Not really. As I am much more of a lurker than anything else when it comes to the internet. So,
All right.
I'll just remain in anonymity.
Gotcha.
An expert in camouflage, just watching people shower. I get it. I do that.
Yeah. Sarge, I know you have some stuff you probably want to plug.
I'm gonna keep beating this drum until the election. Please buy my coloring book, $9.99 at sagessupernormal.com. You can't beat that price with a sack full of bagels. If you don't like the coloring book, you can just use it as kindling to start a fire, or don't give it to children. Just throw it away, because if children get a hold of it, it's gonna do all the things conservatives said us liberals are trying to do. But yeah, please buy my coloring book at sagessupernormal.com and use it to calm yourself down, because America's a terrifying place right now.
It is. All right. And then if you want to follow us on Instagram at Cryptid Cocktail, TikTok, Cryptid Cocktail Party. We have a Patreon. It's $5 a month. I don't really do much there, but you can, support the show, help us out, cover some of the costs.
Yeah. Please just donate some money to pay for this, because it's expensive to talk about vegetables that people.
Inflation, man. Thanks, Biden.
Inflation. Yeah. Thanks, Biden.
All right. Yeah. So that's it.
And Kamala. Why not? It's your fault too. And why? Let's throw it. It's Donald Trump. All politics. This is all your fault that we're doing this.
This isn't a political podcast, Sarge. All right.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm throwing them all in there. I want. This is a bipartisan effort.
Yeah. All right. With that out of the way, Devin, would you like to say goodbye and I love you to the audience?
Audience, I barely know you, but I love you, and I hope you lead wonderful lives.
That was too much, Devin. Just the I love you part. You don't.
Look, I don't know how to hold it back. I come on too strong. I push people away.
That's all right. You know what? You're a good person, but you have to remember, we don't know everybody in the audience. So we might love them, but we would also frown upon their behaviors. Stop masturbating to the sound of my voice, you fucking weirdos.